Okay, so let's talk about the new Scream 6 trailer, teaser, whatever you want to call it, that just dropped. Today is the eve of the trailer, which will actually drop tomorrow. But we got a teaser, we got some photos, and we got a little bit more about the movie from the stars themselves. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Before we do, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. All things Scream will be on this channel. We got some theories coming out tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about this movie all the way up until it comes out. Paramount, if you're hearing this, why do I not have a screener for this movie yet? Let me know. But let's talk about this movie, Scream 6, which we are all anticipating so much. But we got this teaser. We'll talk about that first, and then we'll talk about the photos and some of the things that the cast said. So in this new teaser, we just see Sam and Tara in the bodega running, well, maybe not running, crawling around the bodega because Ghostface came here with a shotgun, and we were not ready for this. Honestly, it's crazy to think, because for a moment in time, slashers generally, we don't ever see them pick up guns or anything. And the first one that comes to mind that I really was impacted when I saw it was Arthur Clown when he picked up those guns. Definitely, we are living in a new era for slashers. It definitely is the pew pew. But let's talk about that teaser, because I think Ghostface is definitely looking unhinged. The old, worn, and torn mask needs a break. Give it a little break. But no, the teaser looked great. I'm excited to see in the full trailer how it's going to look and all of that. But I'm also excited about these pictures we actually see, where we actually see the twins, we see the sisters together here, and everybody is seemingly not looking good. Honestly, they very much so look tense. It looks like it's a scene where something just happened, or somebody who they have a suspicion of just walked in, as you can see in some of their faces, kind of shocked, kind of scared, and kind of suspicious. So definitely wondering who that is. Could it be one of the new characters? Who knows? Another picture we see as well is Gail, who looks to be investigating as always. And raise your hand if you don't think Gail's going to make it this movie. I don't think so, but let me know in the comments below what you think. But I'm excited to see Gail, the last legacy character of the original three, in this movie, and excited to see where this story takes her. As we know, Dewey is gone. We don't know what the hell they're going to say about Sydney in this movie, since all that controversy, but we don't talk about that right now. We see another photo where it looks like the sisters just came out of a chase. They definitely look like they are exhausted, and they are just maybe witnessing somebody did actually get murdered by Ghostface. So we'll see what that is all about. My favorite shot right here is definitely the one of Ghostface wielding the knife, the robe in the air. Very majestic, if you would say so. But it looks great. This photo is one of my favorite photos from Ghostface from any movie, honestly. So I'm excited to see the context of this. Looks like it might be the beginning, maybe the opening shot, as it looks like he is in a house, and it looks broken into. So we'll see whose house that is. Another one of the new characters we're going to be seeing, Dermot Mulroney, is in this photo. I believe he will be the new Dewey. Could he be a new love interest for Gail? We'll see if that's the case or not. And I think the picture that broke the internet today is seeing Kirby back. Of course, this picture of Hayden Panettiere as Kirby returning. Of course, everybody thought that she was gone after Scream 4, Wes Craven, and everybody else came around like, you thought. But here she is in all her glory. So let's talk about these interviews from Entertainment Weekly and a little bit more about the movie. So Melissa Barrera said, "These kids are running away, and Ghostface is still finding them in the most beautiful city, but also the most terrifying because it's so crowded and it can be aggressive." I talked about that in my theory video I did not too long ago. We'll talk about it tomorrow as well in the theories. But New York City is such a great background for these characters, for Ghostface and everything, because I think it sets up new dynamics that we're not used to seeing in the Scream franchise. And I think that that is definitely something that is going to be a great thing to see as we are evolving in this series and seeing where it goes. So I really do like this whole thing with Scream 6 as well. We also see that they said bringing Ghostface to New York adds an entirely new element to the story. Taking the character out of a small town and putting them in the heart of a city that never sleeps is more terrifying than ever. So I agree 100%. I think that we definitely are getting a Ghostface that is going to be needing, not have to be, but needs to be much more aggressive, much more on their toes, because they are going to be chasing them throughout the city. And that's why I believe there is more than two Ghostface killers, which I'll talk more about tomorrow in my theory video. I already kind of brushed upon it in my previous theory video, but we got some more theories after this, and after the trailer, of course, we will too as well. So we actually get some stuff from Miss Jenna Ortega, who is living it up as Wednesday, but goes back to Tara in this movie. So she says, "At the top of the film, we see my character Tara avoiding her trauma and desperately trying to reclaim her teenage experience and become normal college students. So we're definitely going to get that older sister who knows the troubles, the fears that are out there, and trying to protect the younger sibling. And of course, we see that Ortega says there's a lot of tension between her and Sam. She feels as though she's too protective and unwilling to allow them both to move on. She feels suffocated. So I was going to talk about this tomorrow, but I'll just brush up on it here. I think we definitely will see some sort of resentment from Tara to Sam, as her father being Billy Loomis and all of that definitely is a reason they are so targeted by Ghostface and whatever the case may be in this movie. So we're definitely going to get, I feel, a lot of these feelings of resent from both of these characters, and we'll see how it plays out. We have Barrera talking more about this movie as well and the timeline that it's taking place in. She says, not a lot of time has passed. She says, not a lot of time has passed since the last movie. Pretty much the amount of time that we've had between one movie and the other is the amount of time that has passed in this world. So the trauma is still very fresh. One of my favorite parts about the movie is that we really get to see how the happenings of the last movie affected them. We really get to see the baggage that they're carrying now and how each of them is dealing with it differently. So I think that's such an interesting aspect of the movie. Something I was wondering myself is how much of a time jump are we talking about here? And the fact that it's just a year in really makes this movie much more interesting, because we're dealing with characters that haven't really had much of their time to sort of deal with everything going on, besides the fact that they also have to go to college and all of this. So there's a lot of, I feel, fresh wounds, literally. And I think that's going to make such a very interesting movie to be like right after not even a year or so, we are back in the same bull with Ghostface and all that. So very excited about that. Barrera also talked about Dermot Mulroney, who is in this film, and this is what they had to say. I have loved Dermot Mulroney, such a huge fan. He always had the best energy on set and had everyone laughing. It was just a beautiful thing to have him come in. Like I said, I see this guy's photo and I'm just immediately drawn to say this is the new Dewey. I'm excited to see how his character will be, and imagine if he is actually Ghostface. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So also Ortega did talk about having Samara Weaving on set and said, when I first saw Samara on set, they were shooting footage of the background actors walking in the subway all dressed for Halloween. There's a lot of Easter eggs, the costumes, and one of them was Samara's character from Ready or Not. And right as I approached the monitor next to Samara, her old character walked by. It was such a strange coincidence. And yeah, Samara Weaving is a character that we are going to be introduced to in this movie, and I talked about it in my theory video that I think she has much more of a connection to the past than we might I don't even think we're ready for this connection they're going to make in this movie. Setting expectations high already, right? That's the worst thing you can do. But I always do it for every movie. So I'm excited to see what her character will be. Of course, we have Tony Revolori as well in this movie, and we're excited for this. And they also spoke a bit about Kirby. Hayden Panettiere actually said this: she's come a long way. What happened to her has obviously impacted her life, and it sends her in a certain direction, but she's still the same old Kirby at the heart of it. She's just a little older, a little wiser, but just as spitfiery and snarky and all that good stuff. She also said about not feeling left out during returning to the franchise. It's true, I did feel a little like I had to find my way back into the new group because that crew had done the prior film, but they were also welcoming. It was interesting. They made me feel part of the family that I had already been part of. And so I think that's very much so an interesting dynamic they're adding here with Kirby, a character that we saw in the fourth movie, didn't know anything about them until in the fifth movie. Then we hear they're alive, and now they're back in the sixth. It's going to be interesting how those connections happen. Probably Kirby heard about everything that happened, maybe tries to reach out, maybe knows a little bit more about these sort of like Ghostface members, followers. We're talking about that tomorrow, so stay tuned. And I think that's going to be one of the interesting aspects of this whole movie, is how much does this all connect back to the previous movies, because I feel like we're getting a large connection overall with this one. And I'm excited to see how they want to continue this story, where we go from here, what happens next, all that good stuff. So very excited for this movie. Cannot wait. Trailer breakdown tomorrow, trailer reaction, as well as theory video. It's Scream Day all day tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But as always, that is going to do it for me. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions on all of these, the photos, what the actors had to say, the little teaser we got today. What are you hoping to see in tomorrow's trailer, and are you excited for the movie? I'm excited. Paramount, reach out, but let me know. Anyways, as always, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell. We're going to be talking Scream all the way up into the premiere, and so we're excited to do that. Theories and every news, every image that drops, covering it right here. So anyways, as always, that's going to do it for me. Check out our Indiegogo slasher film. We are still trying to fund. We have a couple of days left, so we really hope we can get to that. But as always, I'll see all of you next time. 30,000 subscribers, let's get to it. Stay safe, stay positive.